Hey, everybody, welcome once again, to another episode of the Hippie Chick Helps. She is the Hippie Chick. She is Debbie Altman. Debbie, it's so great to see your smiling face today.
So great to see you as well, Bruce. Nice to be here.
Now, I noticed that you got a little bit of a different setup behind you. You moved. You got new offices.
I did. I moved, new offices, bright, airy, and definitely a great space for creativity. So super excited, finally settled and ready to rock.
All right, so let's jump into it. But before we jump into it, I changed my mind. I don't want to jump into it right away. You got a great t-shirt on and you got flowers in the background. I know we're going to be talking about flower in a second, but there is a connection between the flowers that are behind you and the flower on your shirt.
Yeah, for sure. I can buy myself flowers, and I did. Both kinds of flowers, actually.
All right, so folks, look, we're corny, and that's okay because we're talking about marijuana, we're talking about cannabis. So the flowers behind her, the beautiful ones that you look at, and the one on her t-shirt is the stuff that you buy in a dispensary and then you take home. And the hippie chick is going to tell you all about all the different kinds of ways that you can consume medicinal cannabis. And why don't we start with what we've already talked about, and that is flower.
Flower. So that's generally what we all kind of think of when we think of marijuana, cannabis. Definitely there's different ways that you can buy it. You can buy it ground or, in small little containers, but you can smoke it with paper. You can smoke it in a glass pipe. There's bongs. Now they even have a product called the Volcano, which is the purest way to smoke it. So yeah, lots of different ways to smoke flowers and lots of different kinds of flowers, which we'll go into in another podcast, that fall within the three categories of hybrid, sativa, or indica.
And also, flower is really what people think about, like when they were introduced to marijuana in high school or college.
Yeah, that was the only form of medicinal marijuana that we had was in flower form. We would get what we get and we don't get upset. Most of it was like full of stems and seeds, but yeah, that was the flower of our days. Things have definitely gotten much, much better.
That was then. This is now. It is regulated. It is scientific. You had mentioned a moment ago, we are going to do an entire episode on the differences between sativa and hybrid and indica. We're going to get into terpenes in a different episode. So a lot to talk about in terms of the makeup of this medicinal marijuana. That's flower. Now people are getting into edibles as well.
Yeah, people love edibles. It's a great way to medicate. It's people can do it and you don't smell it. People don't see you do it if you want to just, whatever, pop one in your mouth.
Much more convenient.
Much more convenient. Yeah, it's great. You can share with, your friends if you're, on the beach or whatever. It's just a different form. Obviously, it affects you differently also because it goes, through your body and through your organs. So you're going to get a lot of those effects as well. But yes, a very popular form. And a lot of people start with edibles. When they get into medical marijuana, just as a light introduction into it.
And then, even though edibles are oral, there is a different designation for the oral products that you can ingest in terms of cannabis.
Yeah, for sure. Now they sell products like capsules in different milligrams that you can take. Also, a private way to dose if you're out and about and you need your medicine. There's tinctures, which are like drops. Tinctures that help you make mocktails, which are delicious. I've tried a few. So yeah, they have that option as well to medicate.
And then there are concentrate. Now, this is a stronger, more potent way to ingest cannabis.
Yeah, for sure. It is much stronger. People can either dab it. There's different products that help you to dab. And I guess people won't necessarily all know what I mean by dabbing, but it's a product where you just tap on the concentrates and you're able to ingest it. Like you said, it's a lot stronger. It's for people, with a lot of pain. A lot of the younger crowd likes it as well. Different effect and definitely much stronger, much quicker.
And you just mentioned the younger crowd. The younger crowd, vaping is a very popular way to use cannabis as well.
Yeah, vaping is great. It gives you a portable way to bring your cannabis with you. It can also be incognito if you need to step away, and medicate. It's also, popular. It's generally popular across the board. There's, people that live in apartments that can't smoke flower. They don't, have the smell that flower does. They have a lot of the same effects. There's different potencies. Some are made with rosin and resin, which are a pure form. There's not all those additives in them. So yes, it's definitely a popular way to consume your cannabis.
And then you had mentioned a moment ago when you were talking about concentrates, about people that use cannabis because of pain. There are topicals that can really help people that have joint pain, muscle pain, a variety of different pains, and they are extremely effective.
The topicals are incredible. I was extremely surprised, when I first tried it, how effective they are. They're even stronger than an icy hot. They don't have smell. Obviously, medical cannabis THC has anti-inflammation properties. So when you administer the medicine topically, it automatically goes and alleviates a lot of the pain that people have. So yeah, it's a wonderful product. That really is one of the more popular ones that sells out frequently at the dispensaries.
Now, this whole conversation has been about medicinal cannabis, medicinal marijuana. And I had made a mention a moment ago that this is completely regulated, very scientific. When you are at a dispensary and your prescription gets filled with your order, you get a lot of detailed information on the container that tells you the percentage of THC, if there's any CBD in it. We talked about terpenes, which we'll explain in another episode. That's a very different thing than when you used to buy it in high school or college when it wasn't legal, and it certainly wasn't for medicinal purposes.
Yeah, for sure. They're trying to make the industry as comparable to getting your prescription medicine. So yes, they will put a prescription sticker label on all of your products so that you can see. It comes with a certificate of analysis so that you can actually look up all of the different ingredients. It used to be that it was described with sativa hybrid and indica. Now, like you said, we are focusing more on the different terpenes. So all of that information is found on all of your different prescriptions. It has the patient name, the doctor's name, the percentages of THC, CBD, and all of that.
Well, you've kind of touched on a number of things that we're going to get into in other episodes. You got the sativa and you got hybrid, you've got indica, you have the terpenes. Sometimes you can even have CBD that is involved in the product as well. It really is amazing what has happened in this industry. You talked about 2016 when medicinal marijuana became legal in the state of Florida. More and more is being learned and studied about this, and as more and more states are adding recreational as well as medicinal, they're doing more and more studies. It makes this, in terms of usage for patients, number one, much more targeted, and number two, a lot of patients feel much better about using cannabis because it is legal, it is regulated, and it is studied.
Yeah, definitely. I love what's coming out. It is, definitely being studied more and more, and we're learning more about it. Just in, like I said, with terpenes, there are over 100 different terpenes that are found in cannabis, each offering different effects. It is a very personalized medicine, and part of my goal is to work with the patient and the doctor to find just the right plan for the patient with the different routes. For some patients, it's, flower and concentrates, whereas other patients will do the sublingual or the topical. And it just depends, and it's about finding the right mix that works for you. And that may change from time to time also, which is why I feel like having somebody that you can reach out to and call, with these questions. The doctors are great, the dispensaries are great, but the time in between, or, finding the right combination is where we lose a lot of patients, or a lot of patients get lost because they're so overwhelmed with all the different choices and information.
What I really love about what you've created with the Hippie Chick Helps is the fact that you can have somebody that you can really trust, really get to know, and someone that is really going to listen to come up with a game plan. Because we just went over what, a half a dozen ways that you can ingest or consume cannabis, and without, yeah, it's great. The dispensaries are awesome. You go there, you ask questions, they're very knowledgeable about their products, and they should be. The doctors the same way. But in between, having someone that has great knowledge, as you do, of the industry, of the products, of all the different dispensaries, that you come up with a game plan, and it's just not a let's try this, let's try that. I don't know if I want to smoke. I don't know if I want an edible. Maybe I want a vape. You know, there's so many different choices now, that having someone that you can discuss it with to say, hey, what do you think is best for me? Because this is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, for sure. I encourage all of my patients or consumers, I should say. I call everyone patients. I just have a desire to want to help. So I think instinctively I just call them that. But to journal, and to have someone to call. Sometimes it's that they can't open up a package. Sometimes it's questions that are so simple. Dispensaries do a great job, like you said, but it's only, they're limited in their resources and the people that they employ. A lot of the times there's not direct numbers to reach them, so you actually have to physically go. Same with the doctors, they're busy with a caseload of patients, so where do you go in the meantime where you have questions and you need to get a hold of someone? That's where I come in and I hold your hand, and because I am so passionate about it, and it's helped me and people that I know so much, I really will do what I can to help find the right combination for you so that you get the relief that you need.
It's always great to have a great resource
Yeah.
like you. And sometimes maybe you just have a question about freshness. How do I
Yes.
keep it fresh?
Yeah.
So there you go. Just one of the many examples of a question that you would ask the hippie chick in between talking to the doctor in the dispensary. I learned so much, Debbie, from you every time we visit. Your company and your service is unique. It is needed. And also, what's really nice about it is how discreet you are. And some people need that discretion in their life or with their career, and you certainly provide it. So I think that's wonderful.
To me, I compare it to the pharmaceutical industry and HIPAA, and I respect HIPAA. I live by HIPAA, and so discretion is extremely important, and I definitely respect that.
She is the hippie chick. I'm Bruce Silverman. She's Debbie Altman. Thanks so much for being with us on another episode of the Hippie Chick Helps podcast. We will see you next time.
Bye, guys. See you soon.